True or false? You may never know the impact that your words or actions have on someone's life. True? Absolutely. There is a man named Ian McNeil who changed my entire life at a time where I was not doing well. And I was a student at the University of Alberta. I was a student in this auditorium of like 300 people. And I remember after the one lecture that Ian had given, I was putting all my notes in my backpack. My back was facing him. I turn around and there's Ian. Big smile, and he says, "Come to my office, Al. Let's talk." I talked to this man a handful of times. I don't know to this day why he picked that time to approach me. And so when I walked into that room, he points to a chair, and this is what I remember the most. He says, "How are you doing today, Allan?" That's different than the robotic, "How are you doing?" It changes when you use the word today and when you add the person's name. And I don't know what the numbers are. It's like 7% of the way that we communicate is verbal. So the other 93% comes from what? Body language, tone. Everything about Ian in that moment screamed compassion. And that was the first time that I removed that proverbial mask and I said, "Okay, Ian, you want to know?" And for 10 minutes, I just talked. I talked. I gave myself permission to cry. And at the end of those 10 minutes, Ian leans forward and he says, "Are you happy?" I was like, "No, I'm not happy. Did you not listen to anything I just said?" And he said, "Well, what are you going to do about it? Because you don't have to fight this alone." And he was the one who introduced me to support, to resources on campus that I didn't even know existed. And he did all those 5 things, but most important, he repeatedly checked in to just make sure I was on the right track. He did not fix me, but the man changed my entire life in 10 minutes because he took the time to see a young man who's in pain and who is simply lost. What's interesting is I shared that story at an educators event a couple of years ago, and I'm drawing blank on this individual's name, but he approached me after. He's a superintendent, and he said, "Ian McNeil changed my entire life too. If it wasn't for him, I would have dropped out." And here's the reason I'm sharing this, because I never had a chance to thank Ian in person or on the phone. I could never track him down to tell him the impact that he had made. And unfortunately, this individual also was not able to connect with Ian and share that with him. We don't know. I was in the Toronto airport like 3 weeks ago, standing in line to board the plane, and someone approaches me and he says, "I just want to let you know, I heard you speak 6 years ago. You saved my life." How do you respond to that? But that's the power of story. Yeah, there's a lot of great resources out there. I'm saying your story matters. I'm saying you matter. Think about someone who has made a profound impact in your life. Maybe that's an educator. Maybe it's a mentor, a leader in your workplace. And I would encourage you, challenge you to write, call, text that individual if possible, to notify them, to let them know the impact that they made. And if they've passed on, share it with their family. I think that what the world needs a lot more of, especially today, is love and kindness. I'm curious, how many of you are willing to actually send that text, make the call, or thank someone who's made a positive impact in your life? Just show of hands. I appreciate that. Thank you.